Helicopter crash lands on Tawau School. Seminyak water plant polluted again. I'm Daniel Al-Bakri, and this is Cuppa News. Just 2 days after a tragic amok incident in Baleng, Kedah, which saw a man kill his own brother and another relative, a similar case has occurred in Bukit Indah in Ampang. Today's incident saw a 23-year-old man kill his own mum at an apartment. He was then arrested at the Bukit Indah police station when he ran amok there with a parang at 3:15 a.m. following the murder. Cops then went to his home and found his 49-year-old mother sprawled in the living room. Several stab wounds were found on the victim's body. At least 19 people were injured when a Royal Malaysian Air Force Nuri helicopter crash-landed on the roof of a Tawau school in Sabah this morning. Tawau Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Fadil Marcus confirmed that 14 RMAF personnel on board the helicopter, including the pilots, were hurt in the 9 a.m. incident. 5 students and a canteen worker were also injured when the chopper hit the school hall's roof, ripping it off. SMK Balong, which has more than 1,600 students, has been temporarily shut down to facilitate an investigation into the crash landing. All those injured were rushed to a nearby clinic, while some were later transferred to the Tawau hospital. The helicopter was on a routine training flight and had taken off from Tawau Airport about 10 kilometers from the school when the pilot lost control. In a statement, RMAF confirmed that a probe team will be set up to look into the crash. Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia Pro Tem Vice President Datuk Seri Mukhris Mahathir today snubbed an offer to rejoin UMNO. The former Kedah Menteri Besar said he had no interest in rejoining the party, even if the offer were to come from UMNO's president. Mukhris was sacked from UMNO together with Deputy President Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin in June, and they later formed Pribumi to contest against UMNO in the next GE. On Monday, UMNO Information Chief Tan Sri Anwar Musa had invited Mukhris to rejoin the party. The Red Shirts movement has handed a 22-page document to police claiming electoral reform movement Bersih 2.0 has links to the Islamic State. Red Shirt leader Datuk Jamal Muhammad Yunus is concerned the radical militant group will take advantage of Bersih's planned rally on November 19th.
Berapa jumlah individu yang implicated dalam ni?
Ya?
Berapa jumlah ahli steering committee bersih yang
saya tidak perlu detailkan nanti biarlah pihak polis yang maklumkan. Dan sebahagian maklumat ini saya dapat daripada Rafizi.
Jamal is confident the information provided is sufficient for police to take action against the pro-reform group.
Laporan yang saya dapat ini sumber-sumber yang sahih, sumber-sumber yang sangat membimbangkan, sumber-sumber yang sangat menakutkan kami.
Dokumen ini memang ada tunjuk yang mengatakan bahawa ada kaitan bersih dengan IS ke?
Ada. Itu biarlah nanti pihak polis buat kenyataan. Jadi bagi saya cukuplah dengan maklumat yang kami ada, kami sampaikan kepada pihak yang berkuasa.
He claims the document also details Bersih's plan to topple the government. Meanwhile, PKR Secretary General Rafizi Ramli has taken to Twitter to deny having ties with Jamal, let alone providing him with documents. Abdul Rani Kulub Abdullah today issued a warning to Jamal's red shirts and Bersih 2.0's yellow shirts, saying he will introduce black shirts into the mix if rallies continue. The Pertubuhan Martabat Julinan Muhibah Malaysia, or MJMM, president slammed both quarters, blaming them for clashes in the nation.
Jangan ada ipunan, kuning pun jangan, merah. Tak ada kuning, tak ada merah. Ni hitam ni macam mana ni? Ni ayah ni. Ayah pun nak pergi juga. Jadi aku datang pula besok, kau empuk orang tongkat ni semua sekali. Aku pula salah pula. Ini kena betul. Jangan langgar undang-undang, hormat polis. Selesai masalah.
Rani did not explain what his black shirt group would stand for. Earlier, he lodged a police report at the Dangwangi police station against the Australian spectators who created trouble at last week's F1 race. And since we're on the topic of those Aussies who made headlines worldwide, it turns out one of those men clad in Jalo Gamilang undies is actually an advisor to an Australian cabinet minister. The Sydney Morning Herald today reported that, surprisingly, one of the 9 currently under remand in Malaysia is a policy advisor to Christopher Pyne, the Minister for Defence Industry. Jack Walker is believed to have worked for Pine for 3 years. The men have been remanded for 4 days after being nabbed on Sunday for stripping down to their undies at the Malaysian F1 GP in Sepang. In response to the case, Deputy Home Minister Datuk Nur Jazlan Mohamad today advised tourists visiting the nation to behave in a respectful manner.
We open our doors to tourists. We try to treat them as well as we can, even better, sometimes better than our own people. But when they come here with the intention to commit indecent acts to embarrass us, I think that's not how visitors should respond to our good treatment, especially if there is a political motive behind it.
The group is being investigated for public indecency and provocation. The Sexual Crimes on Children Task Force hopes to table its proposed child sexual crimes bill to the Cabinet this month. The bill will widen the definition of sex crimes, taking into account online predatory behavior. The bill will also put an emphasis on settling child sex crime cases within a year of when the case was reported, with a special court to be set up to enable speedy court settlements.
That they want a shorter time frame for all the cases to be settled and not for the court to postpone cases based on any request or postponement either by prosecutor or defense lawyers.
The task force, headed by Azalina, was set up in August following revelations that up to hundreds of children were abused by British paedophile Richard Huckle. Now, just as residents in Puchong, Hulu Langat and Sepang breathed a sigh of relief as their water supply was slowly restored, their water woes are back in full force. Residents are now faced with yet another round of water cuts. What's causing the disruptions? A factory involved in building materials. Selangor Green Technology and Environment Committee Chairman Elizabeth Wong confirmed that the Sungai Semenyih was suspected to have been polluted by a factory belonging to a firm in the area, which sources water for the Sungai Semenyih water treatment plant in Putrajaya. The treatment plant was closed down by Selangor authorities at 10:30 a.m. today after an odor was detected at the water source. Water distribution to over 350,000 households in the Hulu Langat, Petaling, Sepang and Kuala Langat districts are affected. This is the second time in recent weeks authorities found a foul smell in water from the plant, which was closed on September 24th, causing water supply disruptions. The Selangor government had claimed the first pollution incident was a deliberate contamination attempt by unscrupulous individuals. The state government had lodged a police report on the matter. In world news, a major manhunt is underway to find the 5 masked men who robbed Kim Kardashian of millions at gunpoint at a luxury apartment in Paris. She has since arrived back in New York with way more security than your average head of state. The reality TV star had told cops she had initially thought the gunmen were going to rape her and she had begged for her life, telling the assailants she had children. This video has gone viral of a woman in Australia being approached by a crocodile which had set its sights on her pet dog. But instead of freaking out, she appears totally unfazed. Grumpy Cat has had a busy week. The scowling feline unveiled her waxwork at Washington, D.C.'s Madame Tussauds recently.
And how did Grumpy respond when she saw her figure for the first time?
She was thrilled, as you can see. She's still thrilled.
The kitty was also photographed with former US presidents and in presidential locations. Grumpy Cat was then the guest of honor at the curtain call for Broadway musical Cats.
Grumpy Cat!
Grumpy Cat's owner has reportedly made up to $100 million from her pet. And wrapping up Cuppa News, I leave you with visuals of a koala in Australia being photobombed by a butterfly during a video shoot. I'm Daniel Al-Bakri. Have a good night.